So in this video, we're going to talk about the environment for dialogue to take place. Well, first of all, for dialogue to take place, there has to be a premise. And the premise is that we are all equal, that our value doesn't come from our possessions, from our education, from our status, from our background, from our family's inheritance. In other words, when we engage in a dialogue, there are certain agreements which can be written or can be intrinsic, can be just understood by the people that are having the dialogue. And the agreement are as follow. The conversation that we're going to have is not about an argument, and it's not about authority. We're not playing on who is better than the other, who has more power. In fact, a dialogue, a true dialogue, is what I would call a powerless, with less in parentheses, meaning no ego, no desire to compare, to judge, to condemn, to criticize. It is a true conversation among two people who are equals, who want to have a realization of something even bigger, who want to understand where the other person comes from. Dialogue requires that that the only value we give to the other person is their intrinsic value, and that the only value we bring to our conversation is our intrinsic value. And let me talk a little bit about intrinsic value, because as I said at the beginning, you see, very often certain societies have given value to people according to their possessions, according to their education, according to their degrees, according to the money in the bank. And this has caused a lot of pain, a lot of suffering in society. Wouldn't it be wonderful to be able to give intrinsic value to human beings just because we were born and we were in this world? That is what true leadership is. True leadership is when we value people because we know that the other has potential, and has potential that when we come together, when we have a dialogue, that potential can actually become even better and better, bigger and bigger. And not only that, the potential of the other person expands, but our potential also expands. This is the premise of dialogue, is about expanding our potential together. I mean, isn't that wonderful? It's not about judging, it's not about condemning, it's not about winning, it's not about I have to, win over the other at all. It's about expanding our potential together. And let me assure you that this is true leadership. And when we develop the ability to have dialogue with people and with all kinds of people, our life expands, obviously, because our life becomes a learning field to grow, to advance, to make this world better.